Well, g'day and welcome to Dream Design Do TV. My name's Peter Montgomery. I'm your host. And once a week, we ask Zaki Ameer a question about property investing. Now, Zaki Ameer has done the amazing thing of creating a $3 million property portfolio with 15 properties in the short space of 3 years. And the amazing thing is he did this with low startup capital. So welcome to the call, Zaki.
G'day, Peter. Always great to speak to you.
Yeah, you too, man. Now, I've been reading your book, and I'll just make sure I get the exact title right. It's 0 to 15 Properties in 3 years. Now, what I want to ask you is, in Chapter 3, you talk about, yours isn't the only way to invest. There's so many different ways to invest in property, but there's off-plan. You can go into brand new homes or existing homes in existing established areas. Can I ask, why did you choose to invest in existing homes in existing established areas?
Yeah, that's a good question, Peter. I think you mentioned off the plan, brand new homes and existing homes. The reason I avoided the off the plan and brand new homes or brand new units strategy, simply because if it's an off the plan property and the market is in an uncertain condition where, for example, the market is up one day or down one day, you might run into the issue where if a house or unit hasn't been built for, say, 6 months to 1 year, and you set a purchase price before the property is actually being built, and then a year down the track when the actual property is built and is going to be settled, and let's just say that the market takes a little bit of an adjustment and goes downwards, the property, for example, that was $300,000 might be now worth $200,000. And what might happen is that the bank will then say, well, this property is now only worth 200. Although you signed a contract for 300, you now need to come up with the extra $100,000, for example. And so that's one of the reasons I thought, or I tend to avoid off the plan. When it comes to brand new properties, you kind of avoid that risk. But the other part, the reason I avoided the brand new property section is simply because there is no way of creating or forcing added value, because the house is already in pristine condition. There is nothing I can do that is creative in the meantime where I could add value, which would in turn create equity, and then I can use that equity to purchase further properties. So by buying brand new properties or units, apartments or houses, you then tend to have to wait for market growth to catch up so that you can then access that equity to go and buy your next property. So by answering those questions, I'm hoping I've answered the part of why I went and bought established homes in established areas. And to add to that is established areas have a history of market data. We can go back and say we buy in an area, for example, close to Sydney. There's market data, there is historical data. We can see what the trends have been in the past. We can use the trends in the past to somewhat predict the future. We know the areas, we know the neighborhoods. And then when we find a property that is a bit old, then we can also then look at creating value by, improving that property and forcing value in that, so that we can extract the equity within a short period of time and then purchase the next property.
Awesome, man. So yeah, it's basically that you can add value to the property and go into it. We've spoken in other conversations too about going into the property already ahead, pretty much.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right, Peter.
Excellent, man. Well, thanks again, and I'll talk to you next week. And you make it a great day.
Thanks, Peter. Talk to you soon.
See you, Zaki.